So in this lab, we will be seeing about Azure boards. So what is a board and what are all the different features on the board? Let's see that. So just log on to dev.azure.com with your email ID and password and then choose whatever projects you wanted to choose. So I'm just choosing the project PHP demo that I have just generated it from Azure DevOps demo generator. So on the main menu, just click on boards and you will be seeing around 5 options over here. The first is a work items. Work items is nothing but list of all the work items that you guys will be working as usual on a Jira board and other things. So when you click on the new work item, you can see the list of all the work items available. First is bug, next is epic, next is feature, an impediment, product backlogs, item, task, and test case. So whatever that is dependent on your project, you can actually create that accordingly. So a bug is nothing but if you found any issues on a product, you raise it as a bug. An epic is nothing but a top level, what do you call, a product feature that you wanted to design for this particular sprint, that is called as an epic. A feature is a detailed feature that you wanted to get it generated for this particular sprint. An impediment is nothing but some blockers for your product to be completed. Product backlog items are the backlog items that you wanted to do it but you don't have time at present, so you can just save it so that you can pick it up whenever you guys have a time. Task is nothing but a specific item that you wanted to complete for this particular sprint, that is a task. Test case as usual is a test case. So this will be the list of all the items and you can see the ID numbers, title, assigned to, state, area path, and then tags, comments, and activity dates. Okay, so you can even filter it. So there is a lot of filters. You can even filter it based on your particular thing. So if I wanted to filter only task, I can filter it, or if I wanted to filter only a peak, I can filter it. And if I wanted to check only with me, I can just filter it, or if I wanted to check number of unassigned, I can filter it. So based on this, there are multiple filters available as well. So you can choose whatever you want to do. And here is an import work item. So when you click on that, automatically when you are trying to import some work items from Jira or any of the other boards to here, you can download that as a CSV and you can import the files as a CSV file, so that automatically all the work items that you have exported from some other tool can be imported over here. Okay, that is an import work item. And if you wanted to delete anything, you can click on recycle bin, and column options are the one which you can choose whatever columns you wanted to choose it accordingly. Okay, now when you wanted to see a particular work item, just click on that particular work item and it opens you on a separate page. So this will be the details of the work item. So here you can see who you wanted to get it assigned to and what is the status of it, and I can just make it to work in progress done, and then I can just click on the discussions or acceptance criteria and I can change the priority accordingly, and then I can click on save. Now I have one more option over here. So using the work item, I can directly link it to my repositories. How can I do it? So here you have an option of development and deployment. So on the development branch, or sorry, on the development section, I can just go over here and create a branch for it. So if you see here, automatically that work item will be linked over here. This is what we have seen during our repository sections as well. For example, I'll just show you. So now I'm just opening this branches on a separate tab. Now when I wanted to create a new branch, you can see this work item to the link. Now if I have any work items that I needed to assign it, I can just click on it and then create a branch. This is one way of creating a branch with linking of work items, or else from the work item itself I can just click on create a branch over here, so that automatically the work item will be linked to it. Okay, so like that also I can just create a branch directly from this work item. And if I wanted to link this work item to a particular release or pipeline, then I can click on this releases and automatically it takes me to the release branches, and then here I can just go click on edit and under the options section I can see the integrations, and under the integration I can see report deployment status to the work or report deployment status to the boards. I can just click on that and then I can just map it to the development area. Okay, and then I can just report deployment to the work and then I can just map it, or if I wanted to map it to any Jira or so whatever it is, I can just map it. Right, so once if this is done, then Automatically when the deployment is happening, I can see the status over here. Automatically when the branches are created, I can see the status over here. So this is what is called as your end-to-end traceability from a single work item perspective. Okay, so this is about your work item. The next is a boards. Boards are nothing but, you can call it as your Kanban boards. So a lot of people would have heard about Kanban boards. A Kanban board is nothing but a Japanese technology which they use it for your manufacturing purposes. Like they will be keeping a list of all the backlogs, and whatever new they can keep it on new, and which is are approved by the managers, they can keep it as approved, and which are all committed, and then which are all done. Similarly, they can create some other boards like new, in progress, testing, and done. So it is very easy. So once if it is committed, is completed, I can just move it to done, and automatically the status will be moved to done. And once someone is approved and then which is committed, I can just drag and drop it over here. Okay, so it is very easy for drag and drops over here. And if you wanted to see list of all the backlogs, you can click on this view as backlog, and automatically takes you to the next section, which is a backlog section. In the backlog section, you can see what are all the list of all the backlogs available, and whichever backlogs you wanted to take it, you can assign it to a particular people. Okay, and you can even change the iterations of what is a sprint you want to move this backlog to, and what is a type that you wanted to do. And from this backlog, you can even create a new branch, and whatever things you wanted to do as part of this, you can add a new link. Whatever you want to do, you can just do it as part of this backlogs. And again, from here, if you click on board, it automatically takes you to the board section. Now if I wanted to add a separate column, how can I add it? I can go to the settings option over here, and I can see what are all the options in the boards. So I can go to the column section, and if I wanted to add a new column, I can just say as backlog column, and then I can then save and close it. So now what happens, a backlog column comes into the picture. And if I wanted to add another column, I can add it. So like this, I can do whatever I wanted to do as part of my board. And this analytics is nothing but, it is actually telling you the list of cumulative flow diagram, velocity, sprint burn down, sprint burn up charts, and everything over here. This is boards and backlogs. The next one is a sprint. As you all know, sprint is nothing but, it is the agile methodologies. And if you see, the sprint starting days is July 3 and July 24, which is 2-week sprint. I'm just following it. And if I choose sprint 1, I can see list of all the items, and whatever sprint I wanted to choose, I can just choose it over here. Okay, and whatever the backlogs, I can just choose it over here. And what is the capacity of my team, how many days they are going to work, how many days they per week they are going to use it, and if I wanted to add any user, I can use it. So I can basically do whatever the things that I'm doing it on my sprint board. Queries is nothing but, if I wanted to find list of all the epics under my name, I can go to this editor and I can write a query. For example, I am adding a new class, and I'm just saying as status state is equal to done. So when I make state is equal to done and run the query, only the status which are all done will be displayed for me. Or I can even say like state is not equal to done, and whichever is new, that will be displayed for me. So similarly, I can just write whatever queries I want to do, and then I can go to the charts and I can make the charts available. So let me just save it, and I'm just going to the charts, and then I can create a new chart out of it, and then I can say, and I can just create my charts accordingly. So this is a query editor. Okay, so these are all the main important things as part of our Azure boards. The first is a work item, where you can create the list of all the work items that you wanted to create. The next is a Kanban boards, where you can create multiple columns, and you can just drag and drop across each and every column, whichever you wanted to do it. And the next one is backlogs. This backlogs basically can be used to store list of all the backlogs that I needed for my particular project for the next 6 months, 10 months, and other areas. Sprint, some people might use boards, some people might use sprint. It depends upon project to project, but Azure DevOps actually gives you both the options to use as a boards and both options to use as a sprint as well. So you can create your multiple sprint, and then you can just work on that accordingly. Okay, so I can just create a sprint, and then I can see what are all the list of to do, in progress, and done for this particular sprint. The next is queries, where I can write my custom queries, and then I can add it to my dashboard, I can add it to my charts, and I can even filter it according to the queries and analytics and other areas of my expertise. So just practice these things and then let me know if you guys have any doubts. Until then, thank you.